Saturday morning cartoons? I don't think so, because you got Crypto with Klaus today. We're going to talk about a major crypto company out there laying off 50% of its workforce as it matches its work size to the new crypto environment. Institutions are pumping up the price of Bitcoin and the alts. XRP as well. Speaking of XRP, 6 days in a row above 60 cents. Will the trend continue? Well, we've got IPO news from Ripple Labs. Yes, we've got some creators out there showing us some signs that there may be an IPO on the way. I'm going to let you know what my thoughts are regarding that. And I've got something very special for you. It's right over there. Yes, everyone, if you're looking for the best coverage, precious metals, crypto, cool place to hang out, well, got you covered here. Because Crypto with Klaus is also going to be expanding into metals coverage with a new casual studio. Yes, a new casual place for us to all hang out, talk about crypto, gold, and silver. Ooh, am I excited. Turtles Are Cool says, hey, Klaus, been looking for SBF ruling on regular TV, but I don't see it. Are they going to cover it? The actual announcement for the verdict came out way late at night. Now they're going to be talking about sentencing, all right? That I think we will definitely see on TV. MMET3 says, thank you so much for your opening song, Klaus. You're such a good and energetic person. Do you think there's a settlement in sight between SEC and Ripple? I honestly don't see the potential for a settlement, and we're also going to talk about IPO action. John Slack, saw your email, got to get to it, my good man, says, another Tarkov lover. Bro, can we please play Tarkov? I think I might make my Tarkov information public so you can hop on in games with me. Bitcoin sitting at 34,794, ETH 1840. So, above $40, retraced from their highs, going to be paying close attention to this. XRP sitting at 61.5 with XLM right now sitting at 12.3. OpenSea CEO announces layoffs for half of their workforce. Ethereum's oldest NFT marketplace is downsizing its workforce as part of a 2.0 strategy, aka crypto is not as big as they all thought. So as crypto was booming, these companies were hiring tons and tons of people because they thought the boom was going to last. Devin Finzer, OpenSea co-founder and CEO, disclosed job cuts on a November 3rd via a thread on Twitter. Finzer's post explained that the decision was necessitated by a rethink of OpenSea's operating culture, product, and tech from the ground up, aka you got to match customer demand. And if customer demand for NFT action has gone way down, well then you got to cut back your workforce. Don't give me this whole, we're trying to... No. You're just cutting your workforce because demand just isn't there. The move is part of OpenSea 2.0 as the digital collectible trading hub moves to expand its dominance within the NFT market. Around half of the workforce were reportedly impacted by the decision. We will change how we operate, shifting to a smaller team with a direct connection to users. So today we're saying goodbye to a number of OpenSea teammates. This is the most difficult part of this change. These folks played a key role in getting us to this point. I'm incredibly thankful for their contributions. Now, in a way, the story is sad. Yes, layoffs, always sad. I think we can always agree with that. A little somber story this Saturday morning. But it's also important to see that these crypto companies are doing what they have to in order to stay open, in order to keep profits going. And again, version 2.0. So I know it's bad, but this is healthy because they're making the right moves. Can we expect a Santa rally for Bitcoin this year? I did a story 2 days ago about options traders and futures traders out there saying, yo, December is where it's at. And the reason they're saying December is where it's at because they're saying ETF approval. Now, I'm watching some institutional stuff, and the institutions are leading this way to a juicy Christmas as well. So I think we have a really good point. Here's some stats here that are kind of showing why we may be able to look for some brighter horizons. U.S. inflation has shown a significant decrease, dropping from 9.1 to 3.7. That's because the federal fund rate is jacked up to 5.25, 5.50. We've also got Federal Reserve adopting more cautious stance, right? They've been very cautious as of late. But it's the institutional money that's making the deal. The substantial price spikes that marked the last bull market were mainly driven by a surge in investor confidence and growing interest from institutional players. BTC ETF, you get the big money in because of investor protection. Major financial institutions and hedge funds are beginning to see Bitcoin not merely as a speculative asset, but a hedge against inflation and a potential store of value. We've talked about that. We just need to get a big company on board with XRP as store of value. Household names like Square, MicroStrategy, and Tesla already have substantial Bitcoin acquisitions for their corporate treasuries, reinforcing this narrative. Like I said, we just need to get it to where people are holding XRP as a store of value. And the reason I think XRP as a store of value makes sense is how resilient XRP has been. Lawsuits, all this nasty FUD, the SEC going after them, but yet they're still top 6 market cap. There's a store of value proposition to be there. A recent survey revealed by 91% of institutional investors said that they are eager to invest in tokenized assets. Strong demand, yes, everyone. And as always, any article you see in this video will be linked in the description below. Here is that report. Crypto pundit highlights signs of an impending Ripple IPO. Crypto commentator Lewis Jackson has pointed out various signals indicating that Ripple is preparing for an IPO. In a video, Jackson examined the company's recent employment patterns. Yes, hiring something for a little senior investor person, but you can also have private shares of a company. So it would make sense that you would use that for private shares as well. Also, employment patterns, strategic expansion endeavors, and an ongoing regulatory challenges as preliminary actions in their journey to becoming a publicly traded company. He pointed out notable increase in Ripple's mergers and acquisition activities, like its acquisition of Fortress. They're actively acquiring companies on various fronts. Additionally, he highlighted specific job positions that Ripple is recruiting for, including the manager of corporate development. Okay, just because a company is expanding doesn't mean they're going public. A lot of private companies expand all the time. Madison Dearborn, they're a private company. They expanded and bought who? MoneyGram. Was Madison Dearborn looking to go private? No, they were expanding. So part of the problem we have with stories like this is people are looking for any leap that they can take, right? Oh, they've got a senior manager or corporate development. Oh, that means IPO. No, it doesn't. This is just very normal business activity. I'm going to point you out to a resource, all right? And I know. A lot of you are Deaton fans, a lot of you are. But here's what he's saying. There won't be an announcement of an IPO either. This is coming from Deaton's Twitter. Who approves an IPO? That's right, the SEC. The SEC isn't going to approve an IPO when they're seeking permanent injunction against Ripple and related to the future institutional sales of the XRP during the remedies phase. Essentially what Deaton is saying is, look, if you're going to get an IPO, it ain't going to be in the U.S. because the one that approves that IPO is the one that's taken the SEC to, or the XRP to Ripple Labs to court. God, I couldn't get that out. Saturday morning. I got a 3-hour run today. Holy crap. So yeah, I'm optimistic about an IPO. I just really don't think it's going to happen. Odds of it happening in the United States, I'm going to say like 1%. Because they're not going to grant them permission to do an IPO while they're actively taking them to court for unregistered securities violations. That makes no sense. You would not give them a securities license if they're violating securities currently and you're taking them to court. You got to wait for the court case to end and then you can IPO that action. Deaton's saying it. I'm saying it. I don't know, but some YouTubers out there are pumping it while saying it. XRP price? Cool. Like I said, 6 days in a row above that 60-cent mark. And I got to be honest with you. Low volume, we're still holding it. I'm super, super excited. And I'm looking at this move here. Now, look. We did run out of a little bit of steam here these last few days. But we're not retracing. And that's what I'd like to see. Now, Bitcoin, ETF action, all that. The sooner we get that, the sooner we can help propel this rally. Propel this rally, not propel this rally. We've got CPI data coming up here in about a week and a few days, so we're going to have to be paying attention to that. If CPI data is bad, well, then that puts pressure on Jerome Powell and the Fed to change what he said about pausing with rates, right? It means he may do a rate hike in December. So let's hope for juicy CPI data, which will allow this move to keep going. Let's also hope that we get some good job data. Well, job data favorable for cryptos, along with some housing data favorable for crypto as well. Unemployment numbers are going to be coming out, so there's a bunch of macros that are coming out that affect crypto globally that we're going to be paying attention to. But right now, I'm happy. I'm happy because the price is above 60 cents. We're holding more enthusiasm. The marketplace seems to be awake and alive more so than we saw a few months ago. And in fact, the Torres pump, which we saw in here, I'll highlight it real quick. The Torres pump, which we saw didn't last. Cool. You could take profits and make some money on that. And are you taking profits now on this most recent run? Let me know in the comments below. So Ripple IPO action. Could it happen? Yeah, I think it could happen, but not in the United States. It's going to be hard for Gary Gensler and the SEC to justify just brutally going after Ripple Labs and then turning around and approving an IPO. Nah, I don't think that's going to happen. Now, could they do an IPO in another country? Yes, of course they could. And, well, the people in that country would be very excited to participate into that. Institutional money, yes, has been propelling Bitcoin, which has been propelling the alt market. I'm excited to see this as well, but I'm going to be waiting. I'm going to be waiting to see if these institutions play this ETF as an exit liquidity option. We haven't seen an ETF like this in the market, so we have no idea yet how these big institutional players are going to react. I bring this up because when we saw the Torres pump, we saw U.S. markets just buying like crazy. They were buying XRP, right? But the Korean markets, which were the pumpers of XRP here over these last several months, were the ones dumping on that Torres news. So it was buy the rumor, sell the news. That was for the Koreans. Now the U.S. market, it was buy the news as the Koreans were selling the news for exit liquidity. So what I'm doing right now is I'm looking strategy-wise to see what are these institutions going to do. Are they going to be playing the long game once this ETF action happens, or are they going to be playing pumps and dumps and taking juicy profit? Now, earlier in the video I said, hey, we found a place to talk about precious metals, gold, silver, and all sorts of other goodies. Silver serving spoon, 4.56 China bowl. Nice, isn't it? So yes, we're going to have some changes to the channel, but I'm super excited to share those changes with you. And I'm super excited to have a cool place where we can start showing our finds. Now, as more news breaks, you know I'm going to be sharing it with you. But today there might be, I don't know, a drought in the news. Why? Because I've got a 3-hour run to do today in about 2.5 hours. That's right, I'm getting ready for a 6-hour ultra marathon, and today is my long run day. So that's what I'm doing today, a 3-hour run. What are you doing today? Let me know in the comments below. I'd be glad to share them. So, until later today, you cool cats, have a great rest of your day.